me, Mario! Hello!
Alright, I'm about to play some Super Mario 64, which is excellent because it's I don't know if I want to say strictly that it's one of my favorite games.
Okie dokie.
But, it's definitely one that's been pretty awesome for me. The replayability on it is just beyond what I've really gotten out of most games. Unfortunately... There we go. For some reason the joystick wasn't working there for a second, but I'm going to restart this because what I want to do is I want to start fresh. I'm not doing a speed run or anything like that.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Gonna have to restart it. For some reason, Project 64 seems really wonky with my streaming software. So, give me 2 seconds and I'll give that. I'll get that all fixed. It seems like it's a one and go sort of situation. Otherwise, it just all janks up. But I think as long as I leave the game in windowed mode, I'm gonna be okay.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Alright.
Okie dokie.
So yeah, as I was saying, this is probably one of my most replayed games.
Kind of careful. I have baked a cake for you.
As far as how good the game is,
Peach.
for me, it's important for a lot of different reasons. I mean, really, this was my introduction to sort of three-dimensional gaming, as it was for a lot of people. I remember the first time going to the store when the N64 wasn't out yet, and seeing the N64 demo unit out with this game in it. It was so weird trying to control Mario. Also, I am looking at the chat room for anybody who's watching. I mean, this game has many, many flaws. The camera is a big one. But its fun factor more than makes up for it, I would say.
Let's go!
Wow, you're smack in the middle of the battlefield. You'll find the power stars that blah blah blah. Everybody should know the deal here already. Advice I don't need. Let's go. Well, that wasn't a promising start. I'll stop fooling around now. Did a little bit of debating on Reddit today. One of the news stories that broke sometime this morning or last night, I don't know which. I read it this morning. But apparently the studio behind Batman Arkham Knight made the statement that they're aiming for parity on that game for both the PS4 and Xbox One. Gustavo, somebody I met a while back, I fell right off, through a different website, and somebody who I chat with occasionally on Twitter, made a good point today. It's really kind of strange that they would even bother going out of their way to make that comment right now, considering all the heat that Assassin's Creed Unity was just getting for their 900p parity. But the thing that sort of drives me crazy about the whole thing is that nobody knows what that means. Like, originally, for example, Assassin's Creed Unity, they were aiming for parity all along. And originally, over the summer, they were saying, hey, this game's going to be at 1080p, maybe, at hopefully 60 frames per second, and that's what we're aiming for on both consoles, and it didn't happen. Oh, grab him already. Urgh. My son thinks that King Babam is like the coolest shit. So, today I'm assuming it's Rocksteady that came out and said, yeah, parody for Arkham Knight. And everybody's just flipping their shit because they don't know what that means, but they're still flipping their shit. If the game ends up being 1080p, 60 frames per second by some miracle on both consoles... Hey, buddy, you want to race me, Mario? Let's go! Hey, go! Yeah! You can try to cheat doing this if you want, but he'd be like, no, you cheated! Sorry, you don't win. You suck. That's the funny thing about the whole parody debate whenever it's been coming up now, because that is... Oh, you've gotta be shitting me. That's gonna... I probably lost it right there, just by that little mishap. Damn it. No, you don't. Get out of my face. There we go. It's the thing, parity doesn't really matter to anybody when it benefits everyone. And while I'm not going to rule out anything nefarious per se going on behind the scenes with that whole thing, we don't really know the reasons for this. So... people should stop wigging out over that. shoot to the island in the sky. Will do. Gotta talk to the bomb, open up the cannons. Sounds like Star Fox characters. I know some of you out there might not be old enough to have experienced the original Star Fox, where that's what their voices almost pretty literally sounded like. Back on the SNES, when, you know, seeing things in 3 dimensions like that for the first time was like, well, I'll be damned, I've never seen anything like that before. If this stuff all looks really easy, it's because it is.
Here we go!
I mean, this was the first, like, major 3D game out there. Yay! Now you can go to other places because you got enough stars. So when they went on with, you know, other games like Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, Mario Galaxy 2, they intentionally made things a bit more difficult. You know, by then, you know, 3D and mechanics and the way the camera should work were, you know, established by the time those games are out. And, you know, there's a lot that can be said about what Nintendo's doing wrong and what they could do in order to better serve gamers in general. You can't really blame them for not being innovative for their times. Back with the NES, N64, GameCube. I leave Wii off the list. The only thing that was really innovative, and I use that word a little begrudgingly, would probably be the Wiimote, motion controls. But you know, it was a fad sort of deal. It didn't last. People didn't really care. I mean, there are a lot of gamers out there who appreciated it, but obviously they sold a lot of consoles, but there were a lot of people who were just casual consumers and not really even casual gamers who bought it because they wanted to have fun in their living room with people. And they'd buy it and they'd play Wii Sports, or what was that other game? WarioWare? They'd play that, and, you know, they'd get their tennis swing on and their hula hoop on, and maybe Cooking Mama, stuff like that, and then they'd never touch their Wii U again. Or their Wii, I should say, not Wii U. Can't pass up a free extra life, can I?
Here we go!
Speaking of Nintendo, one thing that buddy of mine brought to my attention the other day was a thread on NeoGAF, which paints
Let's go!
pretty compelling case, kinda, against this Gamergate stuff. What I mean by that is there's not really one aspect of Gamergate overall that I think is something that's not worth fighting for. I think it all is. Each and every little idea is worth exploring and talking about. And, you know, we all want... I'll have to wait until I get a red power switch, which actually, isn't it here? No, not yet, huh? Alright. The whole thing started because, you know, there was this story about, Zoe Quinn, as everybody knows, and, it was just a lot of, oh, hey, she got a lot of favors for producing other favors. From there, all of a sudden, it became an explosive story about integrity in video game media. And there should always be journalistic integrity. Always. And that is something worth talking about. It's partly why I'm writing the editorials that I do on Byte-Size-Impressions.com, and you know, it's just kind of a shame, really. Because that ended up transforming into gamers hate women somehow. Misogyny, that sort of thing. And there are people out there who don't respect women the way that they should. But that's not just in gaming. I mean, this sort of thing about, you know, hey, there's some shitty people out there, which is what it basically boils down to, is it's not just in gaming. That's life. There are shitty people everywhere, you know? And not that we should just accept it, and not that we shouldn't, you know, speak out against this sort of thing. But at the same time, it's there's a lot of hyperbole when we start saying things like gamers are dead, gaming is dead. Because when I hear those phrases come out of anything, it irks me. No, gaming is not dead. It's a huge industry at this point. The number of gamers out there is nothing to scoff at, and as long as you play games and you enjoy it, you're a gamer. It's not like some inclusive club that only somebody who's, you know, played, you know, 102 hours of, like, Skyrim can, you know, be a part of. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the only thing you like playing is mobile games. I don't care if it's just retro games. I don't care if it's just first-person shooters or what. There is no all-inclusive access to gaming. You know, it's a medium. It's an art medium, just like film or music or whatever. Just a tad more interactive. I'll go here again, why not? Top of the fortress, I can do that. Don't push me off. I got greedy. I didn't take my time. One of the things I was actually debating doing tonight was going to the launch for Halo Master Chief Collection and Assassin's Creed Unity. Why? Because tomorrow's a holiday, and I don't have to work tomorrow. Don't have to work, so would have been nice to pick up some Halo 3 multiplayer tomorrow in that collection. Just a little here and there. But there is a 15 gigabyte update. Can't really call it a patch, I guess, for the Halo Master Chief Collection. What kind of shit is this? Of course, it was originally going to be a 20 gigabyte update, but they reduced it to 15, I suppose. Why is it so big? Well, basically, the Halo Master Chief Collection allows you to pretty much, you know, play whatever level you want from any of the games. And the multiplayer is integrated with all the games as well. So the whole idea is it's all one inclusive package. Well, they developed this game and said the whole thing is too big to fit on a single Blu-ray disc, which the usable space is about 45 gigabytes. 45 gigabytes, and they couldn't manage it. So instead of doing what previous Halo games have done, I know Halo 3 ODST included a second disc just for Halo 3 multiplayer. Also, Halo 4, I believe, had a disc that was just there as an install disc. They didn't do that with the Halo Master Chief Collection. No, instead, they decided to make it a downloadable update. 20 gigabytes. They're fucking mad. They're crazy. And, you know, there are people bringing up the point on the internet that, that's not cool. You know, not every internet service provider is friendly to... Oh, did I just do this just to get some red coins? That's poop. May as well attempt it if I can, right? Alright. Well, I got lucky just stomping on that guy. So I was like, ugh, maybe I'll go to the midnight launch, pick up the games, because I'm going to get Assassin's Creed Unity as well. And I'll toss in Halo. And I'll download it. That update. So that I can play it tomorrow if I wish. The problem with that, though, is that, man, I need my sleep, and it's not a matter of just, oh, well, just sleep later tomorrow, no biggie. Yeah, I've got a kid, and he will be up early, no matter what, so what can you do? What can you do? Guess I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow. Suck it up. But it is true that there are a lot of ISPs out there that are not very friendly to the whole thing. You know, they're greedy, so, you know, there's data caps. You know, somebody downloads a 20 gigabyte update, and then right there, before you know it, they've just spent like 60% of the data they were allowed for the month, which isn't cool. And they still have to download the game besides. Now me, there was a nice little solution for this, is that if you pre-order the game digitally on your Xbox One, you could preload the game ahead of time, and that included obtaining that extra 15 gigabyte patch. Update, I should say, sorry. It included that. So if I went digital, I'd be all set to go at midnight tonight. But instead, I want to get this just right. That's right. One up me. But as someone who prefers physical copies of games, they basically said screw you. And I've got a pretty big problem with that. Because right now, the entire industry wants us to move to digital sales in total, right? Why? Because it cuts out the middleman like GameStop. It means that, you know, traded-in video games aren't going to take away from, you know, their business. Which I respect. I like publishers and developers getting money for their hard work. I, for the life of me, can't remember where this last coin is. The thing is, I really feel like it's somewhere stupid. There's a star there, but I've already got most of these coins. I don't want to just give up. I want to find the last coin. It's not hanging off a ledge or something, is it? Oh, did I already get them all and I'm just missing the star? I'm tired. Wow. Ridiculous. Yeah. This next one's gonna be stupid easy.
Let's go.
Partially because I've already done it. Yep, no Owly. I don't need you right now. So as I was saying, as a physical video game preferrer, I'm being punished. You know, it would have been nice for Microsoft and 343i to say, what we can do is we can provide the 20 gigabyte, now 15 gigabyte update for everybody ahead of time. Can you imagine how much that would save the server load today, tonight, once the game is launched officially?
Let's go.
Oh, this is gonna suck. And it's not because the concept sucks. It's because aiming this is always kind of difficult because the camera angle's really weird. And that was just like I hit a wall or something, and I don't think I did. That's the bad thing about early games like this, where the 3D was so basic. The owl's coming back. Let's go. But yeah, like, they could have saved a lot of headaches just by allowing the people who are going to buy physical copies of the Halo Master Chief Collection to download this massive update. I mean, it's not really the fact that, for me, it's a stupid huge update,
Let's go.
because I don't have a cap on my internet service. But a lot of people do have that, but I've already mentioned that. But for me, the point is time. It's gonna take a long time. A lot of people are like, oh, you can play the single-player campaign while you're waiting. And I'm like, I don't want to. I've already played Halo 1 through 4 a lot, and I'll probably replay Halo 2 a bit. And as time goes on, I'll probably play, you know, some Halo 3, Halo 4. But I bought it mostly for the multiplayer, and I'm gonna get the disc home, and I can't fucking play it. Like, how's that justifiable? I don't see how it is. They should have just given everybody an install disc for the other portion of it. That's really what they should have done. But, you know. It is what it is. I wonder now if I can hit that red switch. I don't even know if this... Yeah, the light's shining. Awesome. One thing I really kind of wanted to start playing... yesterday, I wanted to try playing Super Mario Sunshine with Dolphin, but wow, it's intensive. Like, I can play it, but it's not running perfectly. The speed is not running at 100%. So, kind of a bummer. Let's go do this just because it's kind of fun. I know I'm skipping a couple worlds here, but I have enough stars. I've earned it, goddammit. One thing I'm kind of surprised about is we haven't really heard about another 3D adventure Mario game yet for the Wii U. That seems to be what's sorely missing, at least for me. I'm super stoked that 2015 seems to be the year of Link, because I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. But, and as much fun as the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U has been, and Super Mario 3D World, you know, they've got that nostalgic feel where, like, I want a proper 3D Mario adventure game again, such as, you know, this, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to try playing Mario Sunshine again is, I didn't really care for it that much on the Wii U. Like, I played it because the gameplay mechanics still, for the most part, still felt very much like Mario, but I didn't really care for the whole setting. The water pack was kind of interesting, but could get old at times. But my appreciation for certain things in games have changed a lot as I've grown up. Excuse me. For example, Wind Waker, Zelda game. I had a lot of fun with it back in the day, but I kind of was like, eh. Definitely wasn't up there as one of my favorite Zelda experiences, and I kind of didn't finish the game. But eventually, they re-released it for the Wii U, Wind Waker HD, and at that point, I really did like it. A lot. Partially because they cut out a lot of the filler, which made it kind of lame to begin with. When you edge closer to the end of the game, you gotta talk to all these toads, and I gotta remember that because some of them give you stars. Not that one, apparently. The funny thing is you see that flame face, and you don't fight anybody like that. Like, it makes sense in the first world that I was playing earlier, where you see a big picture of King Babam.
Let's go.
We have... well, maybe it's the little pieces of fire that you see jumping around. You'll see them. You see them crossing? Maybe that's what they're supposed to be. I don't freaking know. Also, I don't really remember the order. Oh, shit. I knew it. I couldn't see where I was going to land there for a second. That really screwed me up. Oh.
Let's go.
I just cannot take care of my Mario here very well, can I? I'm just gonna have to be stupid careful. I got into this a little earlier about the whole Gamergate thing, and I totally forgot where I was going with it, but as I was saying, a friend told me about this story that was kind of refreshing in the wake of the whole Gamergate stuff that's been going on. And basically, over the weekend, there was this video that leaked of a 10-year-old girl, like, whooping alleged Smash Brothers champions. Like, she was at a GameStop at some event, and she was just obliterating everybody in line. And what's really nice about it is everybody has the impression now that in gaming culture, in the gaming community, everybody says that gamers hate women, right? Well, this 10-year-old girl is whooping everybody's ass.
Let's go.
Boyle the big bully. That wasn't the big bully? Is that thing way over there in the distance? It might be. Let's get over to it and find out. Okay.
Here we go.
And for all the hate that we allegedly have for women in the gaming community, I saw far more positivity about this girl being a stellar Smash Brothers performer
Let's go.
than anything I've seen in I don't even know how long. I mean, how refreshing it was to see that. And for me, it's just like that whole thing that gamers hate women, it's just a bunch of bullshit. As I was saying earlier, you know, there's gonna be shitty people no matter where you go in all walks of life, and they tend to be the minority.
Here we go.
Loud and outspoken, but they tend to be the minority. Where do I want to go now? Oh, this camera's pissing me off already. Yeah, boo, I'm coming for you. Anyway, as far as this girl whooping everybody's butt, it came out that it was actually some sort of casting call sort of deal. It was a
Let's go.
promo. This one was called Ghost Hunt, yes? Have to see if I can find and defeat all the ghosts. I think after I do that, a big one comes out. So yes, this whole thing seems to be a hoax for the purpose of a advertisement for Smash Brothers. So there's a lot of people that were like, "Oh, she's a fake, she's a phony, bah humbug." And the thing is that it doesn't really matter, does it? Because a lot of people, when they were praising this girl, were not aware that it was a hoax. They were not aware of this. They were thrilled, they were cheering her on, they were happy for her. That's the beautiful thing about the story, is that it doesn't matter if it was a hoax. It makes you realize something, you know? Maybe the gaming community isn't as bad and shitty as people out there want you to believe it is. You know? Crazy idea, I know. Crazy thoughts seem to be what I'm all about. One thing that kind of took me a little off guard, which I should have known it was coming, though, was that I saw that a pretty well-known figure in the gaming community, I won't say industry because they really don't work in the industry whatsoever. Not that they've ever claimed to. But, this person started a Patreon sort of thing. And that caught my attention really quick because this person has said publicly on the internet, on more than one occasion, once on their WordPress blog. And once again, on an old Indiegogo campaign page that they used to have. I think what's hurting me right now is that I don't have access to the blue cap, which makes him invisible to go through certain surfaces, like this wall. There we go. Awesome. Thinking about not playing this game in such a long time, I forget where the big switches are. I already got the red one, which allows Mario to fly with a winged cap. There's the green one, which turns Mario into Metal Mario, which makes him temporarily invincible, which was kind of an odd choice. Why they didn't try to do the classic invincibility star. Maybe it would have been too technologically complicated for the game. Maybe they wanted to show off the shiny textures with Metal Mario. I don't know. Metal Mario didn't really stick around though, did he? I know where it is. It's just a matter of getting there. As of right now, I believe I have access. I'm not going to mess around with this rabbit. He's a little difficult to catch. For sure. No, it's not in here that I think I can continue this way, I guess. Yep. There's something that I can do that I think drains the water here, which will make it really easy for me to, I got it. By the way, any game that I tend to emulate, I really only tend to play games that I played at one point, games that I've owned. When it comes to video games, I'm not much of a pirate at all. I'd much rather own a game. Oh, shit. Almost killed myself right there. But emulating it is just so much easier. It makes the games look great on higher resolution displays, you know? And this mostly looks like the Mario that I remember playing a long time ago. The colors are a bit bolder, that's for sure. And the edges are a lot crisper. As you can see, though, the textures themselves, like in that little rocky area there, they look terrible. Really bad compared to today's standards. But the only thing that sucks about emulating is that I'm not using a an N64 controller with an adapter. I'm using this Logitech controller, the F310 I think it's called, and it works great, and I really do enjoy it because it's got analog buttons for triggers up at the top. Think of the Xbox 360 controller. But it's really hard to get a really workable control scheme for some games. Like, one game that I just cannot play whatsoever is GoldenEye. Because I don't know how familiar you are with the original N64 controller. Basically, if you think about a controller, it had the two handles on each end, right? But it had one protruding out the middle as well. And in the middle is where the joystick was. So you would hold the middle and not both ends of the controller. You were holding it by the middle and by the one side, and using, you know, your thumb in the center to use the joystick. So basically, the directional pad on the left side of the controller you never used. But here, as you see these buttons, you had the green and the blue button, but then instead of these two buttons, the red and the yellow, you had 4 yellow buttons, which were like up, down, left, right. They were called the C buttons. So in order to get like a good emulation going, you have to use the right analog stick in most games as your C buttons, but that allowed you to strafe in GoldenEye, which made things really kind of complicated for regular controllers.
Hegel.
What am I doing? Slip sliding away. So here I go. Secret passageway. That's smarts. He said dough. He's Homer Simpson, yo. Oh, it didn't give me a star for that? You cheated. Oh, it did. I had to go outside. Thought I was gonna have to climb all the way back up there. That would have sucked. Here we go!
Hegel.
Lil Penguin lost. Time to bring him home to his mama. Aw, shush. The amount that Mario is able to slide here is just kind of ridiculous. I'm gonna have to wait for the snowman to turn back around. Like, it's cool to have an obstacle on the bridge, but that one just wastes so much time. I think one game I do want to emulate, because I haven't played it in forever, is Banjo-Kazooie. Oh my god. Classic. Rare made so many great games. What's next?
Peggle.
Big Penguin's going down in the race. You saw it happen here. What? 20 years later? I think 1994 is when it came out. Could be wrong. It's not like I've seen that information anywhere recently. Perfect wall kick at the end instead of a smash into the wall. Like this dude who's apparently dazed for the time being. I'm stoked. My kid is playing this game. Loves it. It makes me happy. Just goes to show you that classics never die, huh? Huh? I haven't been over here yet. Open sesame.
Peggle.
Yeah, I typically don't really enjoy gaming at my PC all that much. I don't know, just kind of reaching out to use the keyboard and the mouse on the tray in front of me just seems really uncomfortable. But sitting here in this chair, which does have armrests with a controller, no problem. It really has sort of made me wonder in the past if I should, Is this fish gonna come out or what? Shit. Am I going to die? Where's some more coins? I know there's more. Isn't there? Oh shit, I better get up top before I die. It's really hard to tell where the top of the water is until like you're like right beneath that murky layer of water texturing. Oh, okay, he came out on his own, finally. Now I can go in and get what I need to. Yeah, get some, you know, the funny thing is when you get zapped like that and you're losing your health, all you need to do is get a fresh breath of air and you can get all your health back. You have to do this in the right order. Oh, screw you. Is the one up on the platform first then? Damn. Yep. At least with each one that you open, it gives you a bowl to breathe. Ideally, you want to try and get up as far as you can before the water runs out. Climbing up these things is surprisingly a pain in the ass. The way that everything's just slanted, you just slide right back down. Been live for an hour and a minute and a half, and I've already got almost 20 stars. That's not bad. Sorry if you heard my neck cracking.
Let's go.
Can the eel come out to play? I know what this one is. This one, you're going to see an eel stuck in some kind of mesh hole in the wall. He's not really stuck. Like, you go near him and he's going to wiggle his ass out. And then he's going to have a tail on his star, and you want to gank it. If your timing right there isn't precise enough, it's really easy to miss, though. It's also a little bit harder to grab that star right there because the way the camera works.
Let's go.
Ocean Cave works for me. I've kind of thought in the past about making all my video game stuff being near where my computer is. Moving the computer out into the living room isn't an option for me. I've been tempted numerous times to give it a shot, but I just don't want to do the whole keyboard and mouse on my lap sort of thing. So the other idea was maybe I can bring my gaming consoles over to the PC and use my monitor for gaming here. But I don't really want to do that either. This one I remember. It's a little cheap that they use the same gimmick for opening chests twice in the same world.
Here we go.
Playing this game reminds me actually of an interesting little factoid about The Legend of Zelda. Also, specifically Zelda 64, or as others would call it, as its rightful name. The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. As you see here, what you pretty much have is a castle. And you jump into these paintings, which act as the portals for all the little mini worlds the game has. As we know, Ocarina of Time is more open world, but the original idea, because they weren't sure they were going to be able to get enough out of the Nintendo 64, was that they were going to have to use a similar sort of level entry mechanic for Ocarina of Time. Fortunately, they didn't have to do that. If you've played that game, and it's not like you have to have a mega old console or an emulator to play it. You can get a 3D version of it for the Nintendo 3DS, but this is an excellent port, by the way. They spruced it up a little bit.
Here we go!
3D works pretty damn good. It was kind of like playing a whole new game again with 3D. Do you have a star for me?
Yeah.
No, I don't need you anyway, buddy.
Yeah. Woo.
Aww. It was like a nut hair away from catching that thing. I was so close, it was painful to watch him keep hopping. In the talons of the big bird. Gotcha. Oh. That was bad.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia.
Let's go!
Pasta padre. Oh my god. I'm so tired. I keep, starting discussion threads and I keep forgetting what they're all about. But I was saying before that one thing that kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop earlier this week on Twitter was, there was someone who's known in the gaming community, not really liked by many people. That's really the only clue I guess I'll give. I mean, you can go on Twitter to see what happened. It's not like it's a huge secret or anything, but basically this guy started a Patreon, which is a place where you can donate money to people, even though they already had an Indiegogo campaign. And also have a subscription model on their website. And also has a donate link besides.
Here we go!
And for their Patreon video presentation, pitch, whatever you want to call it, this person goes on to say that he hates children.
Let's go!
Hates children, and honestly and sincerely would love your money. And that they would take your money and buy things with it. Such as video games. Oh, you shy guy. I am... Oh, it's right there. Anyway, this person writes... for a website that's his own. And I can understand buying video games with donated money. You know, if you're writing about video games, it's a justifiable expense, right? I'm not so sure that buying whiskey to make videos qualifies as an expense. But here's the thing. He's just making the request, right? The real tragedy would be if anybody donates to that Patreon. Like, the dude straight up said, I'll buy alcohol. Sure, why not? And people are like, here you go, here's some money for you to get drunk. I mean, it's really not that different, you know, than someone coming up on the street and, you know, with a paper bag in their hand with, you know, what looks like it's clearly a bottle on the inside, and the person is stumbling over drunk, and this person says, could you, you know, spare me $1 or $2? Because, you know, they're just going to go buy booze with it anyway. Be very mindful of what people are out there asking for from you. Just because there's a Kickstarter campaign or an Indiegogo campaign or any other sort of donate for this or that kind of a thing going on, doesn't mean it's legit. It doesn't mean that the promises will be upheld. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. Somebody comes straight out from the internet and tells you, yeah, I'll take your money and I'll buy whiskey and video games with it, and you give them that money. My wife said this, and she's a very smart girl. And those people who do that are idiots anyway and deserve to be parted with their money. I could not agree more. Could not agree more.
Here we go!
Stuff inside the pyramid is a little bit of a pain in the nuts. A little bit.
Let's go!
Log rolling, huh? Let's do it, huh? Non-video game stuff, by the way. Just because, I am a major film fan. I went and saw Christopher Nolan's Interstellar over the weekend with my wife, and it's not my favorite Nolan film. I did appreciate it, but it was I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm gonna try very hard not to. So don't feel like you gotta turn off the stream based on this. But the thing is Nolan's style is he likes to make, you know, long films. He's very much a make a film that's 2.5 to 3 hours kind of a guy. Usually closer to 3. Interstellar is up there. I think it's like 2 hours and 49 minutes, something like that. Anyway, so of course there's a very long setup and a very long wind down to the conclusion, which you could sort of say the same thing about The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Inception.
Let's go.
I don't want to do this stage. The funny thing for me is that while the exploration into the unknown was really kind of interesting and neat, because it wasn't so over-sensationalized at times, and in some respects at times kind of reminded me of the sincerity of it that was present in like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think the beginning and end parts of the film were far more interesting than a lot of the actual meat in between, which is kind of problematic because the film does end up feeling like a little bit of a slog as a result. Somewhere in this place is a way to access the Green Switch Palace. But I am not entirely sure where it is anymore. I had to wince at that. That hurt. Look at this. It's really, really basic level today. Oh, excuse me. This part's kind of cool, though. You get in here, and it's almost a little bit intimidating, because you're like, alright, what the hell is that thing? But it's cool, it's your little ride, and you can control it. It all depends, whatever way... Oh, you see that toad over there? I think that's the one that's going to give me a star. It's like, here, I'll throw you a bone, buddy. Here we go! Of course I want to save. Why did they even make that an option in these things? You just got a star! Do you want to save, or do you just want to forget that bullshit? Of course I want to save. Going a different way. Son of a bitch. There we go. Here we go! Alright, what time is it? Oh, shit, it's almost 11 p.m. my time. My kid will undoubtedly be up at 5:30. Excuse me, in the morning. Which means it is time for me to sign off. So, thank you very much for watching. And, have a good night. It's been fun streaming some old school. But before I go, be sure to check out my website. That's Byte-Size Impressions.com. Byte-Size Impressions, all one word, and that's Byte with a Y.